Hello everyone, welcome to SSH Publications. So today we are having Michelle Anthony Bam with us. Firstly, I would like to congratulate you, ma'am, for having your book published with us. And now, when your book is published with us and it is available on all the platforms, so how are you feeling?
I'm actually excited, nervous, and happy at the same time. I think personally, for an author who who's going for a book first time solo, it's really an act of vulnerability to put your feelings out there and also try to express what others might feel. So, as a poet, I know that everyone has their own perspective. So, the way people perceive my poetry would be different from mine. So, it's really exciting to see what people also come up with, for the meanings that I have put into the book.
Very amazing. Okay, so your book's name is Messy and Perfect. So I would
Yeah.
like to ask from you, how did you came to uh, give this name to your book?
Actually, Messy and Perfect is also one of the poems I wrote. It's not in the book, but it's like one of the poems I wrote, and it was very personal to me. And it's like not in the book, so people would wonder that, okay, why is it not in the book? But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really personal to me. And one thing I learned from that poem was that life can be messy, and there's still a lot of perfection in that because oftentimes we stop counting our blessings, stop being grateful for all we have when we're facing something difficult. So, messy is just an acknowledgement, a nod to the fact that yes, it's not always easy, but at the same time, we are perfect the way we are, and we can find blessings in the mess we have. So, and also, surprisingly, messy and perfect, it can be abbreviated to MAP, which is map. So
Yeah.
this can deeply show our journey in our life.
Very amazing. Okay. So, what inspired you to write this wonderful book?
Actually, I am very poetic and I have a big collection of poetry. Some are published, some are unpublished, and someday they would see the light of the day. I love, writing poetry just before bed
Okay.
because that is the time I feel that I reflect the most. I think about my day the most. I think about what happened, I try to process
Yeah.
things. I like to journal, have my tea and relax. So when I was making this book, I was thinking that, life is a spectrum of emotions.
True.
And, there's love, there's hate, there's rage, there's sadness. So why not make a book combined all combining all of those emotions that I have already a collection of. So I tried to consolidate some of the poems that can truly represent the true essence of those emotions.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. So, what according to you is a human being?
For me, a human being is someone who can deeply feel things
Okay.
and be vulnerable because, see, as humans, we were given intelligence, and it's not what all organisms on this planet have, and we are fortunate. And at the same time, we have feelings. And the most fortunate thing is that we are able to express them. So, whether, regardless of gender, whether you're a guy or a girl, or, whoever you are, in whichever status you belong, and whatever you are, basically you are entitled to feel things and express things, and without shame. So I think a human being for me would be someone who can deeply feel things and express things. And yeah, that's it.
Very beautifully explained, I must say. So, now I'd like to ask you how your journey of writing started and at what age?
Okay, very interesting. It was long back. I was in ninth grade. So I was barely 14 years old, I think. And I opened this website called Dreams Unlimited. It's not available anymore now. So I started posting these short poems, and I was really inspired to, just try to explore what I can write and everything.
Yeah.
I used to, go after my English teacher like anything, and I used to ask for feedback, and I used to ask for, okay, ma'am, what can be done? Where was I wrong? And how could I have expressed this better? So she used to give me great feedback, and my high school teachers really nurtured me in that area. And but the thing is, I never, considered that I would be a poet or an author at such a young age. So I continued writing throughout my college years, and I did not stop. It was a way for me to just express myself, and I never thought of it like it would, be published someday. Maybe someone can critique it. So I did not put much mind into the fact that who can criticize me. So my main agenda was to just express myself. And I think that is how, it's almost, I think the next year would be like 10 years of me writing. So it's a beautiful journey for me, to be very honest.
Okay, so ma'am, you explained it very well. Now I'd like to ask you, if you were to describe Michelle Anthony, how would you be describing her?
I think I would describe myself as someone who's a blend of maybe, I think I would describe myself in terms of duality. I'm a very logical person, very, very practical, and I analyze every little thing like it's a math equation. But at the same time, I'm also a poet, so that's a question mark for people to figure out like, am I emotional or am I logical? So I'm also very expressive, so that leans more into the creative side. So if I were to express myself completely, like who I am, I would say that I acknowledge that whatever is there is actually there, and I don't have to put labels on myself. So it's best if I can be someone who is logical and analytical, but also thoughtful and expressive at the same time. I'm also that. And yes, I mean, I would say that duality can exist anywhere. And many people would be thinking that, okay, what should I really label myself as and not only in the terms of logical and expressive and emotional, but also in other areas. So for people who are like literally looking to label themselves, I've tried, it does not work. So
Yeah.
it's the best if we just accept all quirks of us in the best possible way.
Very amazing. Okay. So, what are your future goals? What are you thinking to come up with in future?
Well, my writing journey has been amazing, and it started from just notes. And I used to write in a bus, when I used to go home in the school bus, I used to write. And now I'm writing books. So that's quite a surprise to me. And to be very, very frank, if I have to really aim for something next now, I would say that I would like to come up with a novel, and it would have a very strong storyline. So instead of poetry, I would like to explore another side of myself in storytelling. And I know that is something I can do well. And that the hope for that is that my audience can somewhere connect to the plots I have in mind or the emotions I want to express.
Great, ma'am. So, now I'd like to ask you, writing poetry isn't an easy thing, I must say, because there are rhyming and there are lots of things that you have to take care while writing. And also
Yeah,
the emotion should be intact. So, how do you
true.
manage to do all of it?
To be very frank, for a long time, I have been a writer who sticks to the rhyming scheme and always tries to make a rhyming scheme.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good with coming up with rhyming scheme because, like, thanks to my love for music and all, I don't have a problem in coming up with rhyming scheme. But I would definitely say that rhyming scheme is not something that you need to stick to, that I have come to know as an artist myself. Because at some point you would want to express chaotic things, and they need to be out of order, and they need to go out of the comfort zone. And when we talk about going out of the comfort zone in that way, then it's okay to, like, go out of the rhyming scheme. But the subtle art of knowing how to do it is knowing, what kind of emotion you want to express, how would you express it, and does it make a sense of rhythm, does it bring a sense of rhythm even there is no rhyming scheme.
Yeah.
So I think there are pieces in my poetry book that have no rhyming scheme. Some of them have hybrid rhyming schemes, some of them are properly structured. So they are solely depending on, the type of emotion I'm trying to express. And really, even besides rhyming scheme, it really boils down to what we are trying to express. So the words we are picking, they're literally the cherry on top, because they are going to like craft the perfect piece that you want to deliver, and also like just tell what you want to say to the readers. So I think the words we pick should be very impactful.
Great. Definitely. You explained it very well. So now I'd like to ask you, we always, listen about this one thing that perfection is an illusion. So what do you think about it?
Perfectionism?
Illusion.
Illusion. Okay. So, it is an illusion, but I would say I'll give you an example. So, ballerinas are supposed to be very perfect with their craft. They are supposed to have their positions intact. They're supposed to stand at the tip of the toes, and they're supposed to have specific angles for what they do. So,
Yeah.
perfection is a necessity in some parts of life. You cannot go wrong with it. But the thing is, striving for perfection every time you're in the process of doing something is usually disappointing, because when we're practicing, when we're trying to accomplish something, when we are on a journey, it's never about perfection. It's about getting to perfection, yes, but it's about the mess we also create along the way.
Yeah.
So, yes, the biggest thing I would say that I have also learned and I have struggled to learn is that every attempt does not guarantee perfection, and there would be messes and you would learn from those messes. It's really hard to admit that you would make mistakes, but the thing is, you would learn, you would become better, and that's how you reach that perfection level. Because a lot of the times we look at artists, we look at models, we look at people who are so perfect, and we just compare ourselves to them without knowing their journey, without knowing how many setbacks they've had behind the scenes. So it's really important to acknowledge that, it's not an overnight success, even if it looks like it. And also, we have to give ourselves the grace to fail, because it's really important in the process in order to reach that level of perfection.
Amazing. Okay. So I can sense it from the way you're talking and everything, that you are indeed a very creative person. And you already mentioned about your love for music. So I'd like to ask you, what sort of music you like, and if you could sing one song for us, because I can obviously sense it that you have a very great voice. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, I did not anticipate that one, but sure, I'll come up with that. But yes, I would say that the type of music I love, it's usually English pop. And I also love Korean ballads. So Korean music, Japanese music, East Asian music. It's really, it's insightful, and the melodies also try to express the emotion.
Yeah.
So I really love that. And obviously, if you ask me to pick from Bollywood songs, which I know a lot of people are curious about. So
Yeah.
in Bollywood songs, I would say there was an era of 2000s where, 2007, 2008, there were, the songs that came at that time, they were golden. So
Yeah.
I really love the emotions that they used to express. And yes, that's that. So as far as singing is concerned, let me think. Um, interesting. So, uh, I know a lot of people love Taylor Swift. Uh, so yeah, let's try to sing. Something from her. So, salt air and the rust on your door. I never needed anything more. Whispers, oh, are you sure? Never have I ever before. Yeah, so that's a little bit of it.
Very amazing. It was really, I mean, melodious, I could say.
Thank
Yes. So,
it was just in the moment, so like I don't know how it went really. So
no,
yeah.
it was really very amazing, I must say. And okay, so my last question to you is if you have any message for our audience that you'd like to give them.
Okay. So whether you're a very strong girl or you're a very strong guy, and you want to tough it out, and if you really want to, just get through things, not feel things, it's easy to get caught up in that, but at some point it would get exhausting and it would get really, really tiring of always pretending to be fine. Every once in a while, let yourself go, let yourself experience things, be easy on yourself. And yes, even if you're working hard, do work hard, but also try to acknowledge what you're feeling as well as express it in some way, always finding a way to express it. Find a hobby, find any way you want to vent out what you feel, whether it's watching stuff like, watching Netflix, or, even if it's going into something creative, you can write, you can sing, you can do whatever you want. It's just that just don't bottle it up. It's always, you would glow differently when you acknowledge things, I would say.
Thank you so much for this amazing advice. And yes, now, how was your experience with STS Search publication? And if you have any suggestion for us, please do let us know.
I would say it was quite seamless. The coordination, the documentation part, and the publishing, it was published on Christmas Day, which is really good for me because I'm a Christian. So all of that, aligned perfectly. And I don't think I really need to give you guys a suggestion. You guys know what you're doing. So I was really, really happy and really, really satisfied in how the process was. And it was really easy for me as an artist as well, without putting restrictions on the creative works that I have. I was able to publish my book in its true essence.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this amazing interview. It was very nice interacting with you, got to learn so many new things, and I hope our audience would have also enjoyed your interview a lot. So, thank you so much for this amazing interview.
Thank you for having me.